What is up, Straight Fire fam? It's me, Jason McIntyre, Straight Fire for Friday, June the 6th. And if you're watching on YouTube, your boy's all giddy because the Indiana Pacers delivered. What the Hali? What the Haliburton? Folks, listen, what can you say about Tyrese Haliburton? How good is this kid? Oh my gosh. Pacers down 15 with about 10 minutes left. Storm back on the road to beat OKC, mighty OKC. Oh dear, you know I'm kidding. Now listen, I will be full, complete disclosure. I did talk yesterday about the futures bets on the Pacers, and I like those, and I think they could all hit. That would be outstanding. But I got cold feet right before game one, maybe like 30 minutes before game one. I got sucked into the stupid narrative out there, and I put some money on game one, Pacers. I'm sorry, Thunder -10, like an ass, like an idiot, like a sucker. And so then you get caught, Rob, rooting for the OKC blowout, and they're up 15. I'm like, all right, this is great. So, kids, I got to go walk the dog, one of those deals. And Andrew Nembhard, Obi Toppin, Miles Turner banks in a three, and all of a sudden, it's game on. Just this is what the Pacers do. They did it to the Knicks. They did it to the Cavs. I don't want to say I'm speechless because I've got a lot to say, obviously, but I do want to start here. Ladies and gentlemen, Tyrese Haliburton did not have a good game by any stretch. He did not attempt a free throw. He had just 14 points, 6 assists. Those are well below average. They still got the win. So Tyrese Haliburton did not play good. The Pacers turned the ball over 24 times. 24. They had one steal. Are you ready for this? The Thunder, 6 turnovers, 14 steals. So the turnover, 24 turnovers. They had 18 in the first half. And at halftime, you're like, all right, well, I don't know how the Pacers are still alive in this game with all the turnovers. They were just literally fumbling the ball on the way to the basket. OKC with 14 steals. 14. Lou Dort was tremendous defensively. And they lost? And at that point, I think you turn your attention to the head coach, Mark Daigneault. And I know it's easy to blame the head coach, but if you remember, against Denver, he kind of fumbled the bag down the stretch, did some stupid fouling, and ultimately, boom, the game blew up in his face and Denver stole it. Okay? In this one, from the jump, they said, you know what? I called this yesterday on the pod. I said, they're not going to play Hartenstein a lot. He didn't start. Started Kason Wallace. Kason Wallace is an excellent young player. He's got huge upside. Probably feeling himself a little bit. Oh, I'm starting in the finals? Okay. Hello. He was atrocious. 3 for 9 shooting, 0 for 3 from deep, a team worst -13. And what's weird is when you adjust your starting lineup, and I think Richard Jefferson said this on the air, they changed who they are to become and match the Pacers. I don't love that out of the gate. What do they say in boxing? Styles make fights? Well, you've got your style. Bro, you're my opponent. You got to adapt to me. And OKC's the home team, heavily favored. Why are they tweaking what they do to face the Pacers? But it got worse. Daigneault compounded that error by barely playing Chet Holmgren in the fourth quarter. And it's weird because I remember early in the game, it seemed like every loose ball was going OKC's way. There were tip outs, and they just kept getting second chances. None of that in the fourth quarter. Folks, I looked at, if you go to the ESPN box score and you hit the play-by-play, they show you where all the shots were made from. And if you click on fourth quarter, this is just staggering. The Oklahoma City Thunder did not make a shot outside of the paint. They were 0 for 5 on threes. SGA missed that elbow jumper, which felt like he was automatic all playoffs. Up 1 with 6 seconds left. They didn't make a shot outside the paint. They lived at the free throw line. Meanwhile, the Indiana Pacers did what they did. They hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threes in the fourth. Unbelievable performance. Rob, I don't want to go overboard. It's one game. It's the NBA Finals. A lot of new guys in the finals. But I definitely did not like fewer minutes for Chet Holmgren. They basically were playing J-Dub at the 5 down the stretch. Meanwhile, Indiana went big. They had Obi Toppin on the court. It looked like they removed Miles Turner there for most of the rally at the end, but they were playing with Obi Toppin and Pascal Siakam as their bigs, and Toppin was out on the perimeter just banging threes. I mean, he hit. Let's see, he hit 5 threes, 5 of 8. Toppin struggled out of the gate, but he was excellent off the bench. Ben Mathurin didn't really have it. Had a great block. TJ McConnell didn't really have it. Did some scoring, but not really his night. This was an Obi Toppin, Haliburton with the game winner. Siakam was good. Miles Turner put in some points. Obviously, Nesmith 10 and 12, and Andrew Nembhard cooking up SGA. Listen, man, 6 guys in double figures, Rob, led by Siakam with kind of a quiet 19 and 10. It felt like they owned the fourth quarter inside because OKC went small.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about it because this game went live as the radio show started on Fox Sports Radio, The Odd Couple, weeknights, 4 to 7 p.m. Pacific, shameless plug. And we talked right out of the gate. It's like, hey, Daigneault benching Hartenstein for Cason Wallace was either going to be a brilliant move or it was going to be a terrible move. And for 47 and a half minutes there, it looked like a brilliant move because they were basically up, anywhere between 8 to 12 points for most of that game. And it wasn't until after the game that I looked at the box score because, as you're watching, I'm really watching the box score. I'm watching the game as it plays out. I'm watching the frenetic Pacers come back, which they seem to have at least one of these a series, right? And for all the talk about the turnovers, right? OKC was plus 18 in turnovers. They took 3 more free throws. 2 numbers that one historically and one especially recently seem to normally tell you who's going to win a game were both huge in Indiana's favor. Number 1, Indiana was plus 17 in the rebound department. I know you know Pat Riley. He used to say back in the day, no rebounds, no rings. I don't know any team that's going to win a NBA playoff game, much less a finals game, when you're minus 17 on the boards. And here's the other one.
You think that had to do with Les Hartenstein and Chet, right?
Absolutely.
I'm going to try to break it down later by quarter. Rebounds, that's going to be tough to strip out, but I definitely 17 is significant.
That's huge. And then here's the other one. This is the newfound one. Nowadays, in today's pace and space era, the 3-ball is obviously the biggest thing. You can almost just look at a box score and say who made the most threes or who shot a better percentage, and 9 times out of 10, the team's going to win. Indiana was plus 21 from three-point land. So while they were sloppy in the first half, 19 first half turnovers, because of their shooting, because of the fact that against that vaunted OKC defense, they shot 47% overall, 46% from deep. They were always kind of within striking distance. When you turn the ball over 19 times in one half, that should have been a 22, 24, 27-point first half lead for OKC. You're at home. You're the better team by every metric there is. And this Indiana team looks like they are a deer in the headlights. And yet you only go up 9, and that's because Shai hit a 3 right at the buzzer. Like, you could feel that even if OKC won this game, it was going to be much closer than it probably should have, because Indiana did what Indiana does to everybody. They hang around. If you see the movie Rounders, it's like Matt Damon and John Malkovich. The guys got alligator blood. Hang around. And next thing you know, right at the end there, flops the nut straight, wins the pot. Right at the end there, Tyrese Haliburton in transition, no set play or anything, hits the game winner.
So I just looked it up in the play-by-play. So Cason Wallace with 3:24 left replaces Chet Holmgren. SGA hit 2 free throws to make it 106-98. When Chet came out, the Pacers went on a 13-4 run. Rob, I mean, you look at this. Pascal Siakam, offensive rebound, and he missed one of the free throws and made the next one. Then they come down the court. Aaron Nesmith bangs a three-pointer. Then you have Andrew Nembhard hits a three-pointer. So not only are they getting offensive boards, but they're banging threes. And there was a clutch rebound. Pascal Siakam caught a Nembhard air ball and put that in to cut it to 1. And you're like, man, they're dominating inside. What is going on? And I don't know why Daigneault pulled Chet. Like, it's not like any of the Indiana guards went off, did they? I, I mean, Nembhard was 4 of 11. They're all like, all of them made 2 threes. I don't know, man. This is one of those games like you would assume OKC bounces back. But if you look at some of these numbers, Rob, it's like, holy shit, how the frick did the Pacers win this thing?
Yeah, I mean, save for the turnovers, just looking at the box again. I hate the box score watch, but we all saw the game, and so it was such a frenetic ending, which basically all these Pacers games are, that you almost have to go back and look at the box score to really collect your thoughts. Indiana had 6 guys score in double figures. Okay, you look at OKC. Shea drops 38. He was great. He also took 30 shots to get it, which I'd prefer to see that number somewhere between, 23 to 26. I think 30 seems like a lot even for him. J-Dub has 17, but he went 6 of 19 shooting. Lou Dort hits 5 threes, which you absolutely cannot count on in this postseason. Like, he was ice cold coming into this game 1. Nobody else did much of anything. And if Indiana is going to get that kind of contributions across the board from so many different guys, I don't care how good that OKC defense is, you are not going to force enough turnovers throughout an entire series to beat a team where everybody is chipping in.
Yeah.
If it's just Haliburton and Siakam, or you do what you did to Jokic, you say, hey, we're going to let Jokic do what he does. We can't stop him anyway. And we're going to shut everybody else down. We're going to let Haliburton do whatever he does, and we're going to shut everybody else down. Then I think OKC wins in a romp. But because they got contributions in Indiana from everybody at different times throughout the game, for 5 minutes it's Nembhard, for 3 minutes it's Siakam, Miles Turner banks in a 3. You mentioned that, and it's like you can't overcome all of that.
Yeah. I saw this number, Rob. So the Pacers were down 9 with 2:52 left. 9 in the play-by-play era, which dates back to 97. Teams were 0 and 121 in the NBA Finals when trailing by 7 or more in the final 3 minutes of the fourth quarter and overtime. Essentially, that game was over with 2:52 left. And OKC's at home. And Rob, I don't know, maybe it's just my ears, but I keep hearing that this is a historically great team. Do historically great teams gag away leads like that at home? How about if you don't love that, this was Indiana's 5th comeback from 15 or more in the playoffs, the most by any team in the playoffs since 98. They're the comeback kings. And Haliburton is just Mr. Clutch. So there's this one of these like shooting clutch win probability guys who puts out charts. Tyrese Haliburton is now far and away having the most clutch shooting postseason in NBA history. Number 2 was LeBron in 2013 with the Heatles. Number 3 was LeBron in 2018 with the Cavs. Then you have Robert Horry dating way back to 2002. You had Anthony Davis with the bubble Lakers. He hit the big time buzzer shot. But Haliburton is now doing this seemingly, Rob, in like every game. And it's, I don't know. What do you do with Haliburton? He's been so good in these playoffs. Like we saw that with Jamal Murray, remember? Jamal Murray against the Lakers, like he was just hitting every clutch shot. But he's like never made an all-star team. He's not amazing during the regular season. I mean, at this point, can you put Haliburton above Jamal Murray, Rob?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Jamal Murray's an NBA champ. He obviously didn't get finals MVP. Never been an all-star. Barely played in the Olympics for Canada. But you have Haliburton for sure above Jamal Murray.
1,000%. Look,
what about John Morant?
Of course.
Cade Cunningham.
Yes.
Brunson.
Yes.
So is your point guard rankings Curry followed by Haliburton or SGA? I guess
it's Luka, SGA, Steph, Haliburton.
Oh my!
With Haliburton, I'm not gonna say he's passing anybody yet, but he's going up with a bullet. Look, by the end of this run, whether they win the championship or not, after last night, Haliburton is now 6 for 7 one taking a shot to tie or take the lead in the final 90 seconds of the fourth quarter overtime. In these playoffs, the
Wait, did
single
you say
most
6 for 7?
6 for 7, 86%. The
God.
most such shots in a single postseason since 1997 when they started keeping track of this kind of stuff. I remember that LeBron run in 2018. He had like a running bank shot, I think, to beat Toronto.
Oh,
I don't know if that was the year he also had one against might have been against Washington. My mind's mixed up, but I remember LeBron hitting a series of these. Right, even during that time, I never got the sense that this is one of the greatest playoff clutch performers I've ever seen. Even at that time, because there's something kind of fluky about a running to your left, shooting a bank shot, when the game is like that. That just doesn't feel like what I would consider like a planned shot, even if he did plan it, if he did, apologies to LeBron. What Tyrese Haliburton is doing last night, gets the ball in transition, goes exactly where he wants to go, jab step in transition, step back, jumper. Bam. The one against the Knicks that bounces straight up. There was like, well, that's luck. You remember in that one, he goes forward into the paint. He gets stopped. He looks back at the clock. He dribbles directly back. He was actually trying to shoot a game-winning three. That's why he
yeah.
did the choke sign. This was premeditated Tyrese Haliburton. And if he continue, I mean, he does not hit another. He can go 0 for 4 the rest of the series on these kind of shots, and they lose in 5 games. But the kind of run he's having in these playoffs, coupled with the 2 All NBAs he's already have, coupled with the doing the choke sign against the Knicks, doing the big balls dance against Cleveland, after the athletic and the players poll calls him the most overrated player, we're going to have some very uncomfortable conversations about how many guys Halliburton has surpassed just in this playoff run alone.
Well, you have him as fourth. I would need to look at all the point guards. I mean, I guess he just lapped Trae Young, right? Like it's not even a
Yeah,
discussion.
and it's also because of the way he plays. He doesn't dominate the ball like a lot of these guys, so his numbers are never going to be, you know, 28 and 13. Like that's not the way he plays. I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about last year. He had a usage rate of 22 against the Knicks. You know how many guys in the NBA have a usage rate in the 20s? Like Tyrese Haliburton is the real deal, and him becoming the single most clutch player in NBA history, like right before our eyes, is incredible.
This is probably the biggest game one shocker since. Do you remember when Boston went into Golden State in 22 and got the game one win? I was watching with a bunch of buddies, and I'll be honest, I was stunned. I thought that was a Warriors series, and I was like, oh my gosh, they bounced back. And they were down 2-1, and then Curry goes off for 43. But to me, this is channeling like Allen Iverson against the Lakers. Do you remember that?
Absolutely.
Game one. Now I was in I'm pretty sure the Bahamas with my family. And it's Lakers, Sixers. I had to watch it. So I get to some TV and everybody's like, oh my gosh, what is happening? Because the Lakers were heavily favored, and it was like Iverson, Mutombo, Aaron McKee. I mean, come on, the Lakers should have rolled. And they ended up doing that. But game one was such a shocker. Is this going to be that, Rob, where the Pacers get one and then OKC wakes up and Daigneault's like, okay, no more of this Chet nonsense. By the way, Thunder were outscored by 9 when both Chet and Hartenstein were off the floor in the fourth. Like, that's a mistake. Now, here's the other counter. If you're OKC, who do you pull off? Because they were playing J-Dub and SGA, Dort, who had an amazing game, Wallace and Caruso. Caruso was excellent. So, like, if you do go Chet, who are you pulling? I guess you'd have to pull Wallace, who did not play great. But he is thought of as that guy's going to be a major superstar, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, if Dort's not hitting his threes, I guess it makes it easy. You pull him. They love Caruso, and he had 3 steals, 2 blocks. This Caruso's freaking everywhere. And you're not pulling J-Dub or SGA. So is it almost an embarrassment of riches? Because I saw Wiggins, who they like a lot. He played 9 minutes. Isaiah Joe barely played. Like, I don't want to say, do they have too many guys? That sounds goofy, but I don't know, Rob. Like, what do you do?
No, you're right. They have too many guys. And this is not, it sounds counterintuitive, but this is something that plenty of former NBA players and coaches you and I both know have talked to have said about this team not so much during this playoff run, but during the regular season. And it's like they need to flip two or three of these guys for one marquee fifth player. Right? Like can they turn well, I'm not saying Kason Wallace and Kendrick Williams into Cam Johnson or something like that. Like that was talked about by a lot of people throughout the season. It's like, or even going back to last season when they got bounced out in the second round. It's like when you get to the finals or even in the playoffs and it's crunch time, most teams know who their five are at any given time. Like it's like, hey, whether we started this with group or not, we know that when we're playing against this kind of team, we have to score a lot. This is our five. If we're playing a team where we have to defend strong and just kind of hold the lead, this is our five. What OKC has with their problem, or at least last night is they had no idea who their five was.
Yeah.
And even more importantly, I don't think they knew who their number two was because they roll with J-Dub because he's J-Dub, he's an all-NBA player, and they view him as their second best player. But based on the way he played in the game, you cannot tell me he deserved to be in the closing lineup.
Let me ask you, I don't know if it was our guest yesterday or somebody on might have been Jovan Buha when he came on the herd, but somebody was saying the idea, well, they can just max out SGA, obviously, but then they can get Chet and J-Dub maxed out as well, and they still have 2 years before those new deals kick in, or something along those lines.
Right.
And in my head, I'm like, J-Dub's a freaking max player, really? And honestly, that's what I'm thinking. Rob, he is so inconsistent in these playoffs. He goes from looking at he really struggled at times against the Nuggets and then had like a good end to the series. And then against the Timberwolves, it's like, is he there? Is he not? I don't see. I know it's you guys think I'm negative. I just don't see him as a star. Do you? I mean, Siakam is the clear two on the Pacers, right?
Right.
To Haliburton.
Right.
I think Siakam undeniably is better. I would much rather have him than J-Dub. I don't even think it's close.
So would I.
Now, here's the thing. Would you rather have him over Chet?
Like now or moving forward?
Well, that's where it gets
if it's now, it's Siakam for sure. But
yeah, but like next 5 years, obviously right. Chet. So it is. I mean, so Rob. Oh gosh, I don't want to do this yet. But if OKC loses a series, our guest yesterday, Abbott, was like, Giannis makes the most sense in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
They have the assets. I mean, the best case scenario for the NBA is Pacers win this in 7, right? Long series, and OKC decides, F this, we got to make a move. And they go for KD, which would make me look so good because I called that months ago, or Giannis. And I mean, I don't know. Or they could just say, no, we're running it back. We've got the picks. But again, you watch a game like that, and I know, bounce back. I'm sure J-Dub will have 32 in the next game. It's something about me just says, like J-Dub is like a 3. I'm sorry. And I know it's not a one-game overreaction. Maybe he's going to grow into it. But TA, the big Cavs guy, was like, man, the Cavs passed on J-Dub. Imagine if they had got him. I think they got like Isaac Okoro or something, just non-factor. Like J-Dub could have been like a major factor for the Cavs. He could have been. And he is a factor. I think he made All-NBA, right?
Yeah, All-NBA 13.
I don't see it with him. Maybe it's my dislike for OKC for whatever reason. Like you could throw number 3 guys at me. How's this one? This okay. Jalen Johnson of the Hawks, who's hurt or who was hurt this past year, but he's really freaking good. Or J-Dub.
I love me some Jalen Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. What about the good Wagner brother? I think.
Franz.
Franz is a little bit better. Franz or J-Dub?
I actually like J-Dub.
Oh,
I'm not a Franz guy.
Well, that's a
okay. So let's for all the listeners who are like, hey, get back to the finals, right? We're getting into the weeds here. If we're comparing the number 2s, right, Pascal and J-Dub in these playoffs, Pascal 21-6-5 on 53-46 splits.
Wait, I see 9. Oh wait, averages. Okay, I was talking about games.
J-Dub 26-5 on 45-32 splits. So you would say, hey, the numbers are comparable. Like why are you guys, was the kid say glazing? Why are you glazing Pascal Siakam and you're dumping on J-Dub? Like, that's not fair. And the counting stat, like the averages look fine. There's nothing.
Okay, if you have it in front of you, tell me the minutes.
The minutes. So Siakam averages about 34 minutes, and J Dub averages, I think it's right around the same. I had to go
Oh,
back here.
interesting. Okay, because I just assumed J Dub played a little bit less because they blow everybody out. So there was an insane
Yeah,
stat. That they
34,
have like,
both 34.
oh,
But here's
okay.
what I'm trying to get at with Jalen Williams. In these postseason, all right, again, he's averaging about 26 and 5. And you would love that. Here's the problem, though. He is just as likely to have games like against Memphis, 10 for 16, 10 for 19, 10 for 21, right? Follows that up against Denver, 5 for 20, 2 for 13, 5 for 14, 3 for 16. Minnesota, he goes 12 for 20 in game 2, follows it up with 3 for 9 in game 3, right? So it's the inconsistency. And that's the thing that you got to be worried. I'm not saying that I'm going to lose this series. I'm not even saying that I'm going to get off the J-Dub train altogether. But you would like to have going into a game, especially a game 2 where you got to have this one at home, that even if it is, he gets the same numbers he's always get, 26 and 5, that it's going to be done efficiently. He's not going to turn the ball over. He's not going to have all these issues. And I can't say that for sure.
Yeah. How about
I can't
this?
say he's going to go into a game and have a good game in game 2.
J Dub against Denver shot 23% from deep. Against Minnesota, he shot 46% from deep.
Exactly.
Like, I need my number 2 to be a Siakam. Mm-hmm. I mean, listen, Karl-Anthony Towns at least is reliable on the offensive end. This is going to be a problem, and it seems like the strategy. And again, it's one game. Is hey, we would love to let Chet eat and not let anyone else go off. Now, Dort did get a bunch of open threes.
You mean let Shai?
Shai eat. Sorry, let Shai eat, and we'll let everyone else not eat. And we're just going to let Shai get 30 shots. I mean, listen, man, 38 points on 30 shots is not really efficient, is it?
Not in today's NBA, no.
No, especially with the 3 ball. And Shai even hit 3 of 6 from deep. But I wonder if we will see this again where the Pacers say, we'll give you Shai. Shai, you can have it. You can have your midi. Get to your spots. We're just not going to let all these other guys bang wide open threes. Chet Holmgren, 1 3-point attempt. My guess, without looking, Rob, is that the fewest he's taken in a game in this postseason. 1 3. I mean, that's like okay. So he 4. Yeah. Well, he went 1 for when they beat Minnesota by 1,000,000 in game 1. He only took 1, but most of the other games, every other playoff game was over 1 3. Like he's averaging in the postseason. Where's the averages? He's averaging. They don't show the averages; they just show the totals. But he's probably close to 4 threes a game. He took 1. And he's not taking you off the bounce. I don't know this. Listen, Rick Carlisle, man, this guy's freaking good.
He's really
all right.
good.
Pacers go up 1-0. Game 2 is Sunday. Obviously, Monday's going to be crazy. Listen, if the Pacers go up 2-0, Rob.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. We need it. They did it to Cleveland and New York. Talk to you on Monday.